We're live! Finally! We are live! We are live! We are live! Okay, so what's going on, everybody? It is Starr, Hotish, ready to dish for you. Coming up on today's show, we are going to be breaking barriers. Because listen to this, we've got a special guest co-host that's going to be joining us, which I know you're looking at right now. I'll introduce you in a minute. She is a writer, a director. She's out of LA. She worked on some really cool projects like the Jonas Brothers roast, Saved by the Bell, so many more things. She's going to be joining us to dish some stuff in a bit, but don't forget, before we kick into our little conversation, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Of course, make sure you share the links with your friends, have them join in with us right now, and your super chats are always welcome. But by the way, if you also have anything that you want to vent about or talk about, put it in the chat and we'll do our best to talk about it. And one more thing, I also love getting your tweets, so make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Starr, aka Virtual. Now, I am all about women supporting women, so you know we could all come together and shine like the boss babes that we are. So joining us today, Maureen. I don't want to butcher your last name, but can I try to just say it?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I think I'm going to say Maureen Bharoocha.
Maureen Bharoocha. You got it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Now, as I said, she's a writer, director in LA. You have a really good resume. I saw that you worked in some TV stuff, some feature films, did some stuff with Jimmy Kimmel Live, the Jonas Brothers, Saved by the Bell, Crank Yankers, which, by the way, one of my favorite shows.
It's so much fun. I mean, I feel like I grew up on that show. So I worked on it last year, which was like so fun to come back to. You're like, oh.
Wait, so hold up. They brought it back.
It's back. Yeah.
Wait. Where have I been? What is going on? Because I was going to tell, everybody in the chat that if they want to know what Crank Yankers is, that they should do a little Google search. There's like clips of it all over YouTube. That's how I would actually get my Crank Yanker fix. I didn't know it was back. Tell me more, please.
They brought it back. I mean, they have some of your classic characters, and then they brought new people. So it was so much fun, and it's on Comedy Central, and I think you can find it online as well.
Oh my gosh. All right. Definitely have to check that out. I can't, you just broke news for me here. I wanted to get to know you, but now I feel like you're getting to know me and the fact that I did not know that this show is back on TV. So let's get into some other things. Now, the Jonas Brothers roast. Can we talk about that? What exactly, what part did you have to do with that?
So I directed the whole cold open. So all of the beginning, how the show opens, I did that. So it was the 4 sketches with the Jonas Brothers. I directed that. It was so much fun. They were so game, and they were so funny. And it for anybody that's a Jonas Brothers fan, if you haven't seen it, I think you're really going to love it, because it's flashing back to many things that people love about the Jonas Brothers.
Well, okay, we have to flash back to this one particular part in the Jonas Brothers roast when Priyanka was talking. And I know everybody's been talking about this part when she was like, we have an announcement to make since we are the only ones that don't have children. And then you saw like all of their faces drop. Because clearly this was a big secret, because they just made the announcement like last week that they just had a baby. But obviously they knew they were having a baby then. But did you guys know, like behind the scenes people?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't get to be at the live part. We did all of our pre-tapes, so they did not tell. I did not know, and they were keeping it under wraps from everybody. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Another show I know that you worked on, which is also one of my faves, Saved by the Bell. Now, I was a huge fan, obviously, of the original. But you were part of the reboot, right?
Yeah, the new reimagination I think it's incredible. It's really fun. I grew up on Saved by the Bell, so I was already a big fan like you. And Tracy Wakefield, who kind of reimagined it, kind of rebooted it. It's really great. And it kind of has some of the old cast and kind of like the new generation. And it's kind of like a way of examining what we kind of all thought in the past and kind of having fresh lens on it today. It's really funny, too. It's on Peacock.
That is, oh my, so okay, let me ask you this. As a woman in our industry, broadcasters and television and all the stuff that we do, what type of like obstacles do you find in this side of the world?
I mean, I think it's like a hard question, because I feel like for a long time I didn't realize what obstacles I had, because, being a creative, whether you're writing or directing, it's going to be hard no matter what. And I always knew that growing up. And then I think some of those things are not tangible, so you don't realize. But then it's as you start to go through your career and you kind of see the patterns, you look back and you're like, oh yeah, like some people thought I couldn't do this or couldn't do that. Or, there's kind of hidden things that I feel like it's not so obvious. But I definitely been told a lot, like, oh, you're the first woman like when I worked on Jimmy Kimmel Live, I was a segment director. There are many people that would be like, oh, you're the first woman I've ever worked with. And I was just always like, really? Like, that's crazy.
and here's the thing, though. When it comes to us ladies, it's almost like, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or yours, because I'm pretty sure you're as strong as I am when it comes to this, but we can do the job sometimes better than the men. Let's just be real.
I mean, I definitely think women are, conditioned to be able to juggle many things and be able to like make things nice. So I think that sometimes you do have a different skill set just kind of going through the world that does lend itself to, balancing many things at the same time.
Do you find any type of like, I don't know, jealousies or any of that, on your side of the world, especially in like the TV and the directing and the writing side?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that's really cool is that I feel like definitely existed and probably still does, but I do think what's really awesome and incredible right now is that there's a new wave, I feel like, in the industry of really women supporting women kind of regardless. And I'm a part of a couple of women's groups, a big part of the DGA Directors Guild, and I'm part of Film Fatales. And so there's a real wave of just, basically being like there's enough room for all of us, and the kind of old adage that there's only one room for one of us is kind of out the window. And the more that we kind of break that stereotype that we have to compete for that one spot, I think the more room will open up, because it's not true, and it's something that's been peddled to us that I don't think is true.
Now, what made you get into this line of work? I mean, was this something that you grew up saying that you wanted to do, or is this kind of something that you came upon as you got older?
Well, it's funny. I feel like if you ask my mom, she would say that she has this story that she loves to tell, is that when she would drop me off for kindergarten, I would show up and the little kids would be like, Maureen, what are we going to be today? And I would just assign everybody roles of what we were going to play. So she's like, you were going to be a director even before you knew it. So I think maybe it was in my bones. I'm the oldest sibling, and I kind of had a lot of cousins. So I always was like organizing stuff, or always putting on plays in the living room or mimicking movies. But I was always a big movie fan. My mom loves thrillers and scary movies, and my dad's a big Western action fan, and they really loved going to the movies. So we did that a lot as kids. And I also did theater growing up, always put on plays. So I always knew that I wanted to be in the creative realm. I also loved drawing and painting and photography. So when I kind of got to college, I took a film studies class, and I was like, oh, film kind of incorporates all the things I love: music and acting and art and, composition and fashion and lighting. So you kind of have to know a little bit of everything to be good at filmmaking.
So you basically definitely have an eye for things, an eye and an ear for sure, because it's like you can kind of envision it before it happens, and you're bringing your vision in your mind to life. That's basically what you're doing. You're painting the picture for everybody to see what's going on in your mind, which is brilliant. I love it.
And that's something like, the more you do it, the better you get at it, because that's what it is to learn to direct, right? You're like, what's in my brain? I got to get it out. And so at first it's hard, but then as you do it and you are more, you have more practice at it, it's easier to explain what's inside your head.
Have you ever thought about crossing over to the other side, in front of the camera, doing some acting and things like that?
I did want to be an actor when I was a kid, and I thought that's what I was going to do. I did acting all through high school and college, but I kind of realized that it's like I don't know if I wanted to spend the hours that it takes to be a good actor. I wanted to put that toward directing. But I do think like wanting to be an actor and having taken acting classes and improv classes has helped me in my directing, because I love actors.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Since you worked with Jimmy Kimmel and you were one of his segment directors, so tell me what a segment director exactly does. Is it like for each segment that he's doing, you're in charge of a specific one?
So on the show, segment directors direct anything that's a pre-tape. So during the live show, if he cuts to something that's like a video, that's been directed by segment directors. So the segment directors would do mean tweets, we do the commercial parodies, we would do the man on the streets, anything that was like cut into the show. There were 4 in-house directors, and one of us would have directed that.
Ah, well then let me ask you something. Would you be able to foresee me getting cut into a show like that?
I mean, there's anything's possible.
I mean, listen, wouldn't he want to talk to me? Like, hello? Don't you know who you're talking to? This is Starr. If you don't know, you better recognize, girl.
Go toe to toe.
I'm just curious, only because, I mean, if we were to, let's say, make a segment, would something like, would this fit in as something that you would see as segmentable? Let's call it that.
Yeah, I mean, for that show and in a lot of the late night shows, they do a lot of segments that are based on whatever kind of happens in the news. So it's like, you know, a joke or a take on something that was like in the news that day. So that's usually what their segments are based on.
Ah, okay. I got you.
Yeah. So if you make the news, if you get in the news, I feel like that's your way in.
Well, you know what? I'm looking at our chat right now. So Tequito, who's also part of AKA, who, you know, has hung out with me on my show a couple of times. He is wanting to be part of the show too. But Tequi, let me just tell you something. No. You know what? From my segment producer, she already said no. The way she's smiling means no, so that's no, right? Right, Maureen?
I mean, again, I think anything's possible. We got to come up with a plan. We got to come up with like a strategy.
Okay, now let's focus back on you because you're obviously more important than, you know, Tequito. Anyway, so some feature films that you've worked on or that you're working on. Can you tell us about some of that?
Yeah, I just one of the movies that's available right now is called Golden Arm, and it's a female arm wrestling comedy. We shot it in Oklahoma. It premiered at South by Southwest. It has some really great stars: Mary Holland, Betsy Sidaro, Kate Flannery, Dot Marie Jones, and it's about kind of like two female friends that go on this fun road trip and end up in an arm wrestling competition to kind of win $15,000. My brother Ahmed is also in it, so that's available. You can watch that on Apple or Amazon. And it's just really
your brother
fun.
One of the actors?
He is, yeah. My brother Maureen Bharoocha is a stand-up, and he's in the movie as well. He kind of plays the lackey to one of the arm wrestlers. He's an arm wrestling fan.
So I'm starting to think that your family just bred people that are in like the motion picture, cinema, television world.
I'm giving you actually my sister. I'm one of three. My sister wants nothing to do with the industry. I'm the oldest.
Really?
And me and my brother do that. My sister's like, I have no desire. She's like, she loves business and she played basketball, and she's like, I'm not about the movie life.
Well, that's perfect. She loves business, so she can handle the business aspect of everything that you guys are doing on the inside world, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, so together you guys are like a powerhouse team in the family.
And actually the Bharoochas, we got some people in New York. We got an artist in New York. We got another actor. There's a whole plan for an empire in my future. I love it. Collect all of my family to like build this. That's how you build it up, right? I
love it. And then you could do almost like the movie Crazy Rich Asians, but you could do like crazy Bharoocha family.
Yeah. I mean, and we're South Asian, half South Asian.
There we go. I think I might be onto something. I might actually have to be your producer. I'm just kidding. I don't really know what I'm doing on that end. I'll just stick to talking. Talking's kind of the thing I know what to do best. You know what I mean. We
all fake it till we make it, right? So
you gotta fake it till you make it, and sometimes you just make it, right?
Well, you fake it until you make it, and then you're like, I made it.
But sometimes you don't make it, but you still tell people that you made it. So
exactly.
Hey, it works. So here's the thing. So I want to actually incorporate you into my show for today. We like to talk about all of the hot-ish that's going on. And hot-ish, I'm pretty sure you can figure out what that means, right? Like the hot shit. So we talk about all the hot stuff, obviously, that's happening in the world. And one really pretty crazy thing that I'm pretty sure you're going to know much about is the whole Kanye Kim situation, right?
Yes.
So Kanye, every time I open up my social media, it's just Kim and Pete, Kanye and Julia. It's like, so here's the thing. Kanye is saying that he believes that Kim and Pete's relationship is fake. Okay, this is what I'm hearing. A source is saying that the Kardashians, of course, make up storylines, and he is sick of it. And he is also bringing up their sense of style, saying that he's worried that she's turning the kids into like mini Paris Hiltons and that Pete wears the worst clothes ever. So he's just trying to throw shots and throw digs and stuff like that. In fact, they were seen shopping. I don't know if you heard. They were seen shopping at a really crappy mall here in New York on Staten Island, which you wouldn't take your worst enemy to. Okay, but Pete decides to bring Kim, the elite, the Kim Noel Kardashian of Calabasas, to Staten Island. What are your thoughts on that relationship? Do you think it's fake? Do you think it's for the press? Do you think it's legit? Because I keep going back and forth.
I mean, I don't know if it's like fake. I feel like they're probably having a good time. They're probably kind of digging each other, and like, why not, kind of have that out in the media, it being real. the other thing too is like I feel like I kind of like that he's like bringing her to places that maybe aren't like the most high end, because it's nice to have that balance. So
right, it kind of humble her a little bit. yeah, kind of back down to like, you know, real people. To see what it's like to go to an actual strip mall as opposed to having people bring you racks of clothing to your house.
It's like so much fun. I feel like that's so much fun.
I mean, I think it'd be so much fun to live her life for like a couple of days. Like I'll trade, you know, she could come, you know, hang out in the middle of New York City, walking through Times Square, and I'll just go lay by her pool while drinking a pina colada. I think that sounds perfect. While trying on Balenciaga.
Yeah.
You know, but here's the thing:
like live and let live. I feel like it's not big. I don't know.
See, and that's the thing. I'm at first I was gun ho, like this is definitely a publicity stunt, and now I'm kind of like I don't know, because I feel like they always say you want the guy that's gonna make you laugh, and Pete's pretty funny, and he's also able to bag a lot of A-listers. So he's got something going on. We talk about this every show. Not gonna get into it. Everybody who listens, they know, but. The BDE, that's all I have to say. But of course, moving on with Kanye though, what's getting me is that he's calling this relationship fake, but I have a feeling that the relationship he's got with Julia Fox is super staged. It just screams fakety fake to me. What's your take on that?
Again, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's real. Like, she's really hot and like they seem like they get along, but I kind of agree with you in the sense of like, they're doing more press and like out in the public eye for photos than Kim and Pete are. So it's weird to make that comment about them and then be like, ours is real, because
right. But you know why they're doing all that press, right? Because Kanye's staging all that press.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's weird to call like Kim and Pete out.
Right. Then, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. You can't do that. You just can't do that. But yes, I'm right there with you. Did you see? Okay, so I'm sure you've seen Julia Fox in her new eye makeup, right? The look that she's rocking in Paris. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Did you know who her makeup artist is?
Wasn't it Kanye?
Yes! That is why it looks horrific. I mean, if you ask me, I'm sorry. I'm going to just say that. You don't have to agree or disagree, but I have to just say it's like the swan or like a raccoon. Like, why would he want his girlfriend walking around looking like this? Is this beautiful? She's a beautiful woman. What's with that makeup?
It's bold.
Okay, fair enough. It's bold, but that's not... you know what? I feel like that's a look I would have rolling out of a club at like 3 a.m. after drinking too much.
I feel like I would like it if it was just less dark. Like, I feel like I kind of like the idea of like, you know,
the
like
thicker wing,
like a smoky, like a big smoky wing. But it just, I don't know which makeup they're using.
It's called smudge. Not smudge proof, smudge.
It's bold. It definitely makes a statement, and we're talking about it, so.
It is. You know what? You're right. You are right. Moving on. Let's not give it any more press. Just when I thought Paris Hilton was going to make a pregnancy announcement the other day, she actually confirmed that her sister's pregnant with baby number 3. Nikki Hilton's having her third.
Oh, I did not know that.
Ooh, I'll bring some news to you. Super excited about it. They've been hanging out in New York City the past couple of days. But here's the thing. I initially thought that Paris was the one that broke the news about Nikki's pregnancy. And it had me thinking, like, how would you feel if someone from your family broke some major news that you didn't get to tell anybody yet?
If that happened to me, I would be bummed.
Especially, I mean, granted, it's her third, but...
Yeah. I mean, maybe she doesn't care. I don't know. Maybe Nikki's like, I wasn't even going to announce it. I don't know. She's more like, I feel like she's more in the... She's not as like outwardly talking about her personal life. So maybe it wasn't something that she was going to announce. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, I know that the rumors have always been swirling about Paris, and because she just is recently married. Which congratulations to her.
I'm obsessed with her new show.
Wait, which one? The Cooking with Paris?
No, she has like Paris in Love. It's like a whole.
Oh yes. Okay, the documentary.
Like,
the documentary. Yes.
It's like it's not about her it's like a TV show that is like a reality thing.
Right, like it shows leading up to the wedding, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I was going to tell you, because last week we found out that the Cooking with Paris Hilton show, it got canceled. It only was one season. Yeah.
That's
so, I mean, although in a way, like I said last week, how are you supposed to learn how to cook from somebody that doesn't know how to cook? But she looks good doing it. That's all I have to say. And she has like a rhinestone spatula. I wouldn't mind having one of those, although I would be very upset if one of those rhinestones falls into my food and somebody cracks a tooth. That would not be good.
No.
Know what I mean?
That would be a real bummer.
So anyway, moving on to some music news. Adele, obviously, you know, she had to postpone her Vegas residency, and she did it 24 hours before her set was ready to kick off. Did you see her video message?
I didn't watch the message. I just saw like a still like you have up. I haven't watched the message. But I did see the anguish on her face. Okay, so basically in the message, she was saying that her show wasn't ready due to so many people on her staff dealing with COVID, and, you know, she doesn't want to give pretty much like a half-ass show. So she was really, you know, I felt her pain. I'm not gonna lie, I felt her pain. And then the other day she was seen, I think, crying her eyes out to her boyfriend. She's on the phone with him, telling him exactly what happened. Because when she had gone, you know, to the venue, I guess she just kind of had like a meltdown about everything. So we come to find out that she's actually really upset with the production, because there was going to be a pool in the middle of the stage. She was supposed to be like hoisted up and do like this whole floating over water thing, but she thought that it looked terrible, like a pond. And she was unhappy with like the set pieces and the sound system. So I know you said you're big on TikTok, and I'm sure you probably saw a lot of people on TikTok when this whole thing happened. Did you see people, like the ones that were like so upset, and I feel so bad, so upset because they flew miles upon miles to see like her first show, and it's like they were told basically the same time we were. Like, what's your thought on that? How would you have reacted? What would you have done? I mean, I did see some TikToks of people that were like super angry, which I was like, I get it. Like, if you spent all that money and you flew all the way there, and you know, it was like 24 hours in advance, but then it's like, it is COVID time. So it's like, ugh, like you also know that that's a factor that could happen.
Can't control the situation all the time. And but I will say, and I'm sure you saw this on TikTok too, we're going to talk about it, how Adele was FaceTiming with a lot of her fans that were in Vegas and upset that they couldn't see her. And, you know, I did like the fact that they were like, you know what, this blows out of the water, us even seeing her, like having a FaceTime with her is the best thing ever. And I think that was one of the greatest things that she could have possibly done. What would you do if you got like a DM from Adele? Like, think about it. That's how she was reaching out to people. She was DMing them.
I probably would like not answer because I would think it was fake.
Well, okay. So one guy thought that, but you know, he saw the blue check mark. So it was like, why would Adele be writing to me? And he even was like, is this Mama Adele? And she did a voice note to him.
Oh my God, really?
Girl, I thought you were on TikTok.
I didn't see that TikTok. It didn't come up in my algorithm.
Wait, what's on your For You page? Let me guess, all like movies and TV shows.
Actually, right now I'm on a weird TikTok that's like, it's literally all Euphoria and Encanto. Everything I'm watching is just like people commenting on Euphoria or Encanto.
Okay, I've been seeing the song, something about Bruno.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm bad. I didn't watch the movie yet. A couple of my friends got on me about it. I will. When I have a little bit of downtime, I will watch it. But did you watch it?
I was dragging my feet, but I watched it. That's why I have that on my algorithm, because I'm like, I want to see people's hot takes on Encanto and like how they're, you know, what do they interpret it as? But
what was your hot take on it?
I really like it, and I actually really like a lot of the people's readings on TikTok where it's like talking about what this means or what that means. I don't want to give anything away, but that's why it's weird for me to have like mostly Euphoria and Encanto people talking, because those are such opposite ends of the spectrum. That's my wide range of things I like.
Yes, Mika. We don't talk about Bruno. I couldn't remember the line. We don't talk about Bruno. That's all I've been seeing on my TikTok. I'm like, what is this? I need to watch it. Because, you know, my For You page, well, you know what? I think I'm out of the Encanto because I haven't seen a couple of those in a while, but mine's usually on dating or tarot cards and just random weirdness. Weirdness.
A lot of food too. I have a lot of food TikToks.
Yeah. Have you done any of the TikTok food, like deals that they were doing?
I always want to, and then I like never do. I'm always like, oh, I'm going to save this one. I'm going to try it. And then I'm like, never done one in my life.
I did one during our lockdown. I did the one where you take the green pepper, you put the cream cheese,
I have done that one.
You do that one, and the meat, and then the season, whatever, what is it? The everything bagel seasoning, right?
Oh, that one. I didn't do that one. Is that one good?
Oh my God, so good. Because people are like, because you put little pieces of like pepperoni on it. So it's pepperoni, cream cheese, the seasoning, and the green pepper. People are like, that looks so disgusting. How does that taste good? Let me tell you, it was so good. I highly recommend it. And it's definitely something if you're on keto or any type of like diet. It was so good.
All right, I'll try it then.
Which one did you do?
I know. I did the one that was like the jalapeno with the cream cheese and like the Takis.
Oh, how was that one?
That one's really good. It's like you stuff the jalapeno with the cream cheese and then you put Takis in it and then a little bit of lime.
Okay, now I'm kind of hungry.
That was like the only one that I did.
I mean, everybody I know was making banana bread, so I never got around to that either. I was too busy trying to play like a chef in my own house, thinking that, instead of going out to eat, I'm going to make my gourmet meals here. And I did very well. Very well. I was making seared tuna, filet mignon, lobster tails. Who needs a restaurant when you got Chef Starr? Yeah, Chef Starr, come on over. So obviously, a couple weeks from now, I think maybe about 2 weeks from now or sooner, the big game going down here, as everyone loves to know, the Super Bowl. But
the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Are you a sports fan or not?
The sport that I like is hockey, which is like not the most popular sport, but I definitely will watch the Super Bowl, and it's in LA. So my sister has been trying to win tickets on the radio, which I was like, that's so old school.
Listen, you never know. You could win. They're giving them away out there?
Yeah. They're giving away, like, you could sit in Dr. Dre's like box. So, and because they're doing a halftime show. So my sister's like listening to the radio every day to try to win tickets.
Well, it's funny you should say that because that's exactly what I was talking about with the halftime show. Snoop Dogg was actually just before he was talking, obviously he's getting ready for the halftime show, which he's doing with, as you said, Dr. Dre, Eminem's going to be there, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. It's going to be like such an old school throwback. I'm living for this halftime show. Like, I always joke around and tell people that I am watching the concert at the big game. Like, that's why I'm there. I don't care about the game. I just care about the show.
Yeah. I mean, also, you just like wonder, like, if any of the, like, it's such an incredible lineup, but it's so funny to think, like, did any of those people think when they first started out that they would be doing the Super Bowl halftime show? Like,
exactly, right? And I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure you're going to try to watch it, right? Whether you're there with your sister or not. But so Snoop Dogg was talking the other day. Somebody asked him if he were to do a dream collaboration, who would you want to collaborate with? And it's crazy because when you think Snoop Dogg, it's like, who hasn't he collaborated with, right?
Everybody. I mean, Martha Stewart. And even Martha Stewart.
Yes, which, by the way, they're doing the pregame. It's the Puppy Bowl. They always host that together, where you can like adopt those doggies that they have running around and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that they hosted that.
Yes, they always do. They've been for like years. It's like, it's so funny because it's Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. It's like, how does this combination go? But somehow it works, and
I love them.
They have dogs that they, can adopt during that time, which I like that. It's the Puppy Bowl. So you get to like kind of watch the dogs and see their behaviors and things like that. And you could just like kind of call in or whatever and be like, listen, I want to adopt that dog. The white little, long-haired schnauzer, or like whatever.
I'll have to get a dog that way.
I know, right? But so speaking of Snoop Dogg, who do you think he would like to collaborate with? Because I know, like I said, I feel like he's collaborated with everybody. If there's one person you could think about, who do you think he wants to do the collaboration with?
Oh, does it have, like, singing wise?
Yep, absolutely. And I'll give you a clue. It's not going to be an easy clue, but I'll try. It's a girl, and it's from back in the day. Like, just think like throwback, but yet sensual. That's all I'll say.
Sade?
Yes! I gave it away!
Really?
Uh-huh.
I mean, wow.
Yeah,
I love
how
Sade.
crazy.
And you know why? Also because she has a song called Maureen, which is, there's not many.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Imagine a Snoop Dogg Sade, like, collaboration. By the way, I gotta give a shout out to Jeff Timmons, who's in the chat from 98 Degrees. What's up, Jeff? And he's saying that he heard 98 Degrees wants to do a collab with Snoop Dogg. Maybe we should try to make that happen, because I think that'd be pretty cool. I actually think that 98 Degrees should join everybody on stage at halftime this year. I'm gonna rally for that one.
That would be a great surprise.
I mean, because here's the thing. We're bringing it back old school with like the hip hop and R&B. So why don't we bring it back old school with the boy band, right?
Yes. I mean, I'm down.
If we're doing it, we got to do it big. Like you said, go big or go home. Anyway, so moving on to something else that I think is super weird. Do you remember the Nintendo 64 game console?
Kind of. My brother probably had one.
Oh, is he more of like a gamer?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely played, but I don't know all the iterations of it.
Okay, no, you don't need to. But we have it up on the screen right now. This is what it looks like. Probably remember it if you had it. I personally had like the older Nintendo, and I'm not trying to date myself, but maybe because I got it refurbished, I don't know, or maybe because I'm just from the future and I can get whatever I want. Anyway. Here's the thing. I found out there's this German music artist, right? Now, I don't know anything about German music, but his name is Remute. He's releasing an electro pop album. It's called R64. And the reason why I wanted to bring this story up is because the only way that you're going to be able to listen to his new album is you need to have a Nintendo 64, because he's making it into a Nintendo 64 cartridge. And I started thinking, you're not going to have many record sales, dude. I mean, it's clever, but impractical. Like, imagine that it was like Snoop Dogg that did this. How would we listen?
Very niche. Very niche.
Very. But I just thought it was pretty cool, because I'm like, you know what? You want to take it back old school? Like, I'm for that. I just don't know if I have one to pull out of, storage or a closet that's covered in dust. I definitely don't have a Nintendo 64.
So this will be the only way you can hear the album?
The only way. I'm like, you're totally like hurting yourself, dude. You're hurting yourself doing that. Like I said,
or there will be eBay sales will go way up for like.
You know what? True. I mean, listen, like I said, I thought it was cute, but I just think it's very impractical, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's cute, because it's like, you might as well start pulling out, like, I don't know, CD players. I feel like nobody really has them anymore.
Or like an 8-track. That's like basically an 8-track.
Oh, or a DAT, right? Isn't that the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we're dating. Well, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back before we start to get a wrinkle. I have to go get some Botox or something. Anyway, let me ask you about this. Since you're into the whole, like, you know a lot of stuff. Have you been into that new board game that people are playing online called Wordle?
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Okay, we need to talk about it, because I wanted to know if you knew what it was, and now that you do, I'm super excited. There are people, and that's why I'm pretty sure there are going to be some people in the chat that are going to be like, "What is Wordle?" So let me just explain. Basically, you get, actually, you know what? No, you're going to explain. Tell them what Wordle is.
Oh my goodness, Wordle is, I think it's like a 5-letter word game, right? So every day there's a new one up every 24 hours. So you get to guess a word that's 5 letters, and if it comes up yellow, that means you've gotten one of the letters right, but it's in the wrong spot. And then green means you've gotten the right letter in the right spot. And so once you guess your word, then you kind of know, like, it eliminates letters, and then it tells you which ones you have. So you can keep guessing until you get the word.
Yep, which I think is so cool, because, all right, so I'm not going to lie, I learned about it, and I didn't know about it. It was apparently so big, and I know everything that's breaking, so I was actually shocked. I must have been sleeping late that day. But when I found out about it, I started playing, which I've been now kind of obsessed. Not super, but kind of. But the crazy thing about it is it's, like, for you to have to just think of a random word to start it off with, like, do you have like a go-to word that you started off with, or do you just like use a word that pops in your head at that moment?
I have to admit, I'm playing a low rent version, like that's not Wordle, to kind of like get up my 5-letter words up.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, it's like I play the one every day, and then I'm obsessed with it. So I play like a low rent one that like is just kind of weird, and it like helps me like come up with words.
Ooh, okay. I mean, there's always a hack, and the hack is, you could always do like one of those Google searches for like the words, like you could say it's a 5-letter word, and it starts with a B, and it's got a letter C in it and an A. So what are those words? And then you could kind of like go through the list and cheat if you really wanted to. Yeah. But that's if I'm not really a big cheater unless I get really stressed. If I were probably at that last line. But what's weird is a couple of times I've been playing it, I've been getting it by like the 3rd or 4th line, and there's like 6 lines you have to go through, right? You have 6 chances, I should say.
Yeah, 6 chances, yeah. I like to go through, I like to do brief. Like, I feel like there's like a couple words you want to, that's a good one.
well, that one we're going to get into in a second, but I have to shout out Barrow really quick because he's saying donut, D-O-N-U-T. We're going to have to use that as our next word.
Oh, I'm going to use that tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Or it might be up right now.
It's like whenever it refreshes, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. There's another like knockoff of Wordle that's out right now. It's called Louddle. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Okay, so Louddle is for people who pretty much have a potty mouth, and they're all X-rated words. Oh. So talk about having to like get your brain to like start thinking like dirty. So I just found out about this one yesterday. I think it was. Yes, yesterday. So I decided to try to play it, and I was like, this is harder. Like I thought that I can sometimes have a potty mouth, but like this is ridiculous. I couldn't come up with some of the words that it's coming up with.
It's going to give you a whole new vocabulary.
It actually did. But here was the thing. Like, okay, so here we have it up on the screen right now. So this is the dirty Wordle called Louddle. For anybody that has a dirty mind, like some of us. Not both of us, just some of us, speaking about myself. But if you do want to play either Wordle or Louddle, all you need to do is just type it in your search, and then you'll get that page. So you could type in WORDLE, and then same with Louddle, LEWDLE. And you might want to try to play Louddle later also. Just throwing it out there,
fun. It's kind of like when you play, we used to play like dirty Mad Libs. You just take regular Mad Libs and you could only use dirty words.
Kind of, absolutely. Or like, what is it? The something humanity, Cards of Humanity. It's like, just dirty stuff.
Cards Against Humanity, yeah.
Yes. So things like that. I mean, I think it could be good for like a girls' night out, or, when you're out like drinking with the friends, stuff like that. Just throwing it out there.
Spices it up.
Also, the dating world. We have to move on to this. I know that you were talking about TikTok and how much you love it. And this is a story that I need to bring up to you. I'm hoping that it came up in your For You page. But the dating world is obviously the worst. I don't know what your situation is, if you're single or not, dating, married.
Single.
High five, join the club. I mean, listen, in our industry, and I say it like this all the time, we need a strong man that can understand our line of work.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times they put on the front that they can, but ultimately they can't. So there's this guy here in New York City who went viral.
Yes.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So basically, I heard that he went worldwide. West Elm Caleb. You've heard about him, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me break down the story for everybody tuning in. But basically, this guy was on the dating app Hinge, and he got caught dating tons and tons of women here in New York City at the same exact time. So, of course, TikTok loves to like expose people, which I am all for, in a kind way, or in a, girls looking out for girls way, which is what we need to do because, they have the bro code. So we need to have, our girl code at times. So some girl on TikTok decided to share her dating disaster story about this guy, and other girls who had seen it were like, wait a second, this sounds like the guy that I'm dating. And they started to swap stories because, she was talking about they started with romantic dates. Then he would send them Spotify playlists. And then, the girls were like, wait a second, we have a guy like that too. And he would send, selfies, and he would send bad photos to them. And then they were like, wait, is the playlist blah, blah, blah? Like, they have the same exact playlist. So all the girls are getting the same playlist. They're getting the same photos. They're getting the same line of love bombing. And what does he do? Of course, he just ghosts. Like, that's his thing. He just ghosts on these girls. So he's basically like the modern day F-boy, pretty much. So, I I don't know. What's your take on West Elm Caleb?
I mean, I think this is what TikTok is like, so insanely amazing and also dangerous. I don't know. Where it is like that happened, I feel like I saw it on my feed and I was like, oh, what is this one thing? And then all of a sudden there were like 20 West Elm Jacob stories in my feed. So
Caleb.
Like, one, Caleb, yeah. One, this guy like gets around. And two, like there's that many of the people that he's dating on TikTok like talking about it, which is also crazy. But yeah, I feel like it is like just the more we know about it, like, I guess, like, watch out.
I'm starting to think, and I don't know if you're on any of the dating apps or not, but I'm starting to think that this, West Elm Caleb is kind of like the poster child for the guys that we all need to look out for. He just happened to be the one that got, burned basically by his face being shown and people talking about him. And I mean, clearly we're talking about him. So obviously he's getting that type of clout, which is fine. But it's also putting him in a light where a lot of girls are like, stay away from this guy. So this guy's going to have to, he can't even move out of the country. I think at this point it has gone worldwide that wherever he goes, if someone recognizes him and they're like, you're West Elm Caleb, goodbye. Like, they're not going to talk to him. He's going to be a virgin for the rest of his life.
Well, it's like, I don't think he is.
Well, a born again virgin, basically. Yeah. He's not going to get any action. Nobody's going to want him. I mean, listen, unless he shaves off that mustache and like tries to change his look, nobody's going to want him. He has to change his name, his whole identity, everything.
Well, he definitely can't like brag about working at West Elm anymore.
No, absolutely not.
Anybody that's name is Caleb, like at West Elm, like you got to like not either change your name.
I feel bad for anyone who's
there.
Yeah, or any guy actually who is named Caleb, because if you see even Caleb come up on a dating app at this point, you're going to think it's him using someone else's photos. You're not going to talk to that guy. So all the Calebs are now pissed at this Caleb. Then all the people at West Elm are probably pissed at this guy. So it's just, I don't know. You know what? I'm for it though. Like I said earlier, I'm like all about women supporting women. And, if we can just do our part to look out for one another and kind of spread the words on who to stay away from, it's going to make dating so much easier.
It does really feel nice that like it is all the women being like, hey, watch out for this guy, Yeah,
because
so
usually
it's going to make him, you're like, oh, whatever. I'm not going to say anything.
Right, because usually it's the girls that either, they'll do whatever and then they'll never tell anybody about it. And then there's the ones that are just like, I don't want to get involved. And, everybody could be there, but I'm for it. And because, there's a thing like, I don't know, I'm notorious for catching catfish. Like I see them a mile away and I call them out and then they ghost because they know that they just got caught. So I've been like secretly getting rid of catfish by the dozens for everybody.
Have you listened to the podcast Sweet Bobby?
No, tell me about it.
It's like, basically they're pitching it as like the craziest catfish ever. So it's this podcast, I've listened to it on Apple or on iTunes. It's really crazy and it's like a catfish. I feel like you would love it.
I'm going to have to check it out for sure because my friends will even reach out to me to this point and they're just like, can you help me? Like I hate to admit this, and I've admitted it before, but I'm like the CIA and the FBI in one. I will find whatever information you need on anybody so fast that you won't even know what hit you.
I think you will love Sweet Bobby. It's like a 10-year catfish.
Okay, I'm in because catfish, after a while, it kind of got washed up. But I will say I am in. Ooh, that's the podcast.
Yes, I just finished it. It's only 6 episodes.
All right. Now I'm sold. I'm going to have to check that out. Thank you for that. That's amazing. Yeah. Point that my friends are just like, you're crazy. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not on these dating apps to meet someone? I said, I'm actually on these dating apps to find the catfish at this point. Like, I've made it into a game. I don't care about the people that are on the apps. I care about getting rid of and reporting these catfish and calling them out. Like, sometimes I have fun calling them out and then I screenshot the conversation because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a series soon. Just trust me when I tell you I'm just building all of my supplies until I need to explode them out.
That's awesome.
You might want to make a movie about this. I could give you your whole plot line on it.
Let's talk after. We'll sidebar.
We definitely will. So of course, moving on. Are you somebody that ever Googles like celebrity houses just to see, you know, like how they're living or what they live in and stuff like that? So I read that the top Googled rappers' homes are Drake, Eminem, and Kanye. Now, I get it. I heard about Drake's house. It's in Toronto. It was like featured on Architectural Digest. It's called an eye-popping pleasure dome, which I would love to pop my eyes at that pleasure dome in person then. Like, I want to see it for myself. You know, I don't want to get pleasured in the dome, but I'd rather have the eye-popping experience. I'm not trying to have a Drake baby, FYI. Just putting it out there. Have you seen his house?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. So his house is to die for. Basically, I mean, I've only seen some videos from whenever he's posted of like him in the pool. And to me, I'm like, is that is that, I can't even describe how big it's like. To me, it's bigger than an Olympic sized pool. It's like, I feel like I'm at a resort. It's just ginormous.
Wait, there's pictures of him in his pool?
There was a video he once posted on his Instagram page I had seen of him in his pool, like showing his like back of his house and the whole, and I was like, this is your house? This is insane.
Wow.
Oh, Pogi, I like what you said. Pogi said fishing with Starr. That, you know what? That's what we should call my segment when I bust these catfish. I love
that. I
love it. Yeah. Listen, we got somebody else now to hire for titles. Here's the thing though. I was thinking, out of all of those three people, Kanye, like who's Googling for Kanye's house? Where is he living anyway? I can't keep up with the guy. I know he like just bought a house across the street from Kim, but he had the place in Wyoming. Who wants to see a ranch?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
I never have desired to Google his home.
I mean, okay, so if you had to pick a celebrity right now, whose house would you want to Google?
Ooh, I mean, I'd like to see what Lady Gaga's house looks like.
Ooh, you know, actually, what's funny, her current house now. What's funny is when she was living here in the city, I forgot who it was. Somebody I knew what apartment she had like lived in or grew up in or something along those lines. Super, super small too, super tiny. I think it was like in the Village or something. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Like a place that she had. Imagine moving in and somebody's like, oh, you're living in Lady Gaga's old apartment.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, it would be. Have you seen that girl on TikTok that's living in Marilyn's old home?
No.
She's like that blonde chick. I feel like she's pregnant and she just had her baby.
Yes, I have seen her. I didn't realize she's living in her home.
She looks like Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, she's living in one of her homes, like because obviously she had many. So she had done a tour and like she was talking about how it's haunted and they believe it's the ghost of Marilyn.
Oh my God. She definitely is like conjuring Marilyn.
Absolutely, which I think is crazy. So it's like you could kind of like channel the person that you're living in their apartment. But the one thing that freaks me out is, now that I'm thinking about it, is I would not want to live in an apartment where someone has died. That would creep me out.
But do you ever think that like most of the places that, I mean, especially apartments, like that most, like maybe they all have people that have died?
No, but I know, but I mean in it, like, you know, like almost like you're the person coming in after the fact.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's like many years ago, but yeah, like right after, no.
Yeah. Like, I mean, think about it. It's like you're going into like a new apartment. You're like, oh, so nice. And like, oh, how was the last, neighbor? Or how were the last people that lived here? Oh, they died. There's our Marilyn girl from TikTok.
I didn't realize she lived in her home. That makes so much more sense now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I didn't know that either until I was watching one of her TikToks one day where she did explain that. And she was talking about how she lives in the house and stuff like that. So, oh my gosh, big shout out to Nasu for finding that. Thank you.
Yeah. That's the good thing about TikTok. It's not always easy to search things where I'm like, this one video. And then, but look, she found her.
Exactly, right? My goodness. Okay, so moving on, I have something else I need to bring up to you. Are you the type of person to ever check your spam folder in your email?
No. I always forget about it.
Why? Okay, let me ask you why you don't. Because I don't check it either. I'm not the only person, but why don't you check it?
I honestly forget that it's there. Like,
okay. Fair enough. I mean, because I'm not even the person that empties my trash either, to be honest.
Exactly.
Unless I'm told that like my storage is filling up or something. But here's the thing. You're going to want to check your spam folder after I tell you about this. There's this woman that's living in Michigan. I found out that she was going through her spam folder. She was actually looking for a missing email from a friend because she just never receives it. She's like, maybe it's in spam. So as she's scrolling through, she noticed this email from the Michigan lottery saying that she won $3 million on the December 31st Mega Millions drawing. Now, of course, if that were me, I'm like, this is spam for sure. Because, you know, we always get spammed with something that'll be like, you just won $1 million. Well, she knew that she bought her ticket online and she assumed that she didn't win because she never heard anything. So, of course, she responds to the email and she's $3 million richer now.
What? You can buy lottery tickets online?
Yeah, I actually buy them off my app on my phone. Yeah.
I did not know this. This is changing my life.
Oh, Jackpocket. You just go. I will send you the information. Go on Jackpocket. This is not an endorsement by any chance, but yes, you can buy them online. But this woman in Michigan won $3 million and she plans to use her winnings to retire early. I personally think that she should share some of this money with the friend whose email she was looking for, because if it wasn't for her, she wouldn't have known.
I mean, that is wild. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check my spam now.
All right, so now just putting it out there, if you happen to win some money, I will gladly take a little, like, you know.
I mean, I'll owe you some money, yeah.
I mean, you don't have to owe a lot. I'm not greedy, but, you know, a nice Chanel bag or something.
You got it.
I am so bad. I am so
You're
so
on
bad.
my list. I definitely have a list of people, homes and things that I would buy for people if I win the lottery. So I'll add you to them.
Amazing. You know, I don't have I think I have more of a mental list. Like, I know who's going to get what, but the problem is if something ever happened to me, I have no record of it anywhere. So, but if I do win though, if I win money, there's only a handful of people that I would share with, and then I'm disappearing for a while because you know what? Everybody's your friend when you win money. You know that.
I think this is what I would do. I want to set up a thing where I'd give some away, right, to the people that I love. And then all the people that come out of the woodwork, I would be like, I'll invest in your business. Come up with a business plan and I'll invest in that. That's how I'd give you money.
Really? Okay, I like how you're thinking then. That's nice. Yeah. But let me ask you this. What if their idea is just complete garbage that you did not want to even invest in because you knew it wasn't going to be investable? Then you're kind of throwing that money away.
I think it would depend on the person. If I really liked the person and I didn't want to just give them money, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll give to your business. So at least they'd be like feeling like it's not just a handout or a gift, that it's like, oh, I want you to invest in my idea.
You know, you're the first person I ever heard say something like that. I love it. That's like so honorable and nice.
So I would be such a great lottery winner. Like I have to.
You would be. All right. So now I'm definitely going to have to teach you how to get your lottery tickets on your phone. So in case it's ever like bad weather or you don't want to go out or you don't have time to go out, you can just punch it right in. You could even pick your own numbers and then you'll also get a notification or an alert if you have won.
Wow. This is dangerous, but exciting.
It is, because then next thing you know, you're going to be putting so much money. You're going to be, I guess, taking the money out of PayPal or wherever it comes from and like putting it into your account. You're going to be like, I'm going broke, playing all these lottery games. My goodness.
Thank you, Peggy. You're on the list too.
Well, check this out. As you know, St. Patrick's Day right around the corner, and I am beyond excited not to go out and drink because I'm actually doing dry January. I'm not drinking, and I think I'm going to extend it. I'm going to probably extend it for as long as I can hold out because I think I'm feeling good. But I'm looking forward to Lucky Charms bringing back their old cereal called the Lucky Charms Magic Clovers Turned Milk Green cereal.
Oh, wow.
Do you know about this cereal?
I mean, I've heard of it like back in the day, but I didn't know they were bringing it back.
Okay, so it's limited edition. It's coming back at the end of January in stores, so it should be coming out like real soon. Basically, you know what happens? You eat the Lucky Charms, your milk turns green, so you're basically drinking up that leprechaun juice, drinking in the pot of gold, so you can try to win that money.
That's awesome.
You know, here's the thing: are you a fan of the cereal with the marshmallows, or are you more of like a health nut where you'll eat like the Cheerios and things like that?
We weren't allowed to have sugar cereal as a kid, so I feel like every time I get to eat it as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's so sugary and fun. So I would take the marshmallow one now.
Okay, perfect. Well, I have something for you then. Ready for this? You know the store It's Sugar?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's sugar. They sell an entire box, a cereal box size of just the marshmallows, no oats. And I was in heaven when I went there one day and I bought the box and I ate the whole thing. Not in one sitting, of course, but I did. I poured the marshmallows into a bowl with milk and I ate it, minus the cereal. Because when I was a kid growing up, I used to pick all the marshmallows out and only eat them and leave the oats to the side because I just didn't like them, because we all obviously like the sugary stuff, which... Bless your parents for keeping you from eating that.
I mean, my sister, though, she got it because she was the baby. So my sister ate sugar cereal, but I didn't get it when I was a kid.
Well, now you can make up for lost time. You can actually get the entire box of marshmallows. Just had to throw that out there because that is one of my favorite things.
Yes, I want to eat that.
I highly think you should. So anyway, we're going to wrap things up. I am so excited that you hung out with us today. Thank you so much for hanging out and all that stuff. And I want to know from you where our viewers can, find you and how they can get in touch with you, especially if they're interested in maybe knowing some more about your line of work and what you do and some of the projects you worked on, because you have a very, very extensive list here.
Yeah, I kind of am a big Instagrammer, so I feel like I post a lot of my stuff on Instagram, which is just more at Maureen Bharoocha, my name at Instagram. And I have a new movie called The Prank coming out, starring 𝙈𝙁𝙈𝙍𝙍 and Ramona Young. So that's going to come out next year. So just follow me there for more info on that movie and all the other stuff that I'm doing.
Nice. So wait, give us a little sneak peek about this movie.
Yeah, it's a comedy thriller, and it stars 𝙈𝙁𝙈𝙍𝙍, Keith David, Connor Collapsis, Ramona Young, and it's kind of like a high school Hitchcock type movie. I can't really say much because it's under wraps, but it's so much fun. And 𝙈𝙁𝙈𝙍 is obviously such an icon and an incredible actress, and she's been around forever. So it's really cool to see her kind of do something different.
That is so awesome. Are we going to get to see it in movie theaters, or is it going to be on any of the streaming platforms? How can we check it out?
It's an indie movie, so it doesn't have distribution yet, but hopefully we'll be figuring that out in the next couple months. So I'm hoping for a theatrical, but of course streaming is the way to go nowadays. So I'm sure it'll be available wherever movies are.
Super excited. Okay, so you have to promise me something when it comes out, and you're also working on some more stuff, that you come back and hang out with us, because you are so cool and so much fun. And I hope that you had fun hanging out here.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Thank you, Starr. I also next time want to come here to Starr Restaurant. So yeah, when the movie comes out and I win the lottery, you have to promise to make me something yummy.
You know what? When you fly in private, because you're going to have all that money and you fly in private, I will then take a trip with you somewhere and I will cook on the plane for us. How about that?
Okay, I love it. Deal.
Thank you so much. Big shout out to our girl Maureen Bharoocha for guest co-hosting today. And don't forget, of course, to follow us, like, and subscribe to my page. Make sure you leave some comments. Super chats are always welcome. I did say Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so, send me a little cha-ching so that I can get myself a little gift, because I don't have a Valentine, and neither does Maureen, and I'm going to have to get her one too now. So if you send over the super chats, I can get us some Galentine's Day stuff. I think that would be cute. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Starr, aka Virtual. And of course, we'll be back again next week right here on Hotish. Bye.